and welcome back to Finding Wendy. So thanks again for all the amazing comments that I got my last week posting. I did get some good ideas in regards to what sort of things that I should post. So I have lots of things to talk about today and lots of video that I'm going to be sharing with you. So stay tuned. Okay, so first, my stats. So again, good news for this week, and I'm really glad I'm pretty well over my stall. This whole journey, for those of you who have never seen the video, this is your first time. Welcome to Finding Wendy. And so I started this whole journey in December 2017. I weighed 450 pounds. I started my Optifast on February 20th, and I weighed 400 pounds. I had my VSG surgery on March 20th, 2018 with Dr. Timothy Jackson at Toronto Western Hospital, and I was 375. Last week I was 238, and this week I'm 237. So I've lost another pound. Woohoo! Whoa! I am so happy. So I've now lost a total of 213 pounds since this whole journey has started, which is quite amazing. So stay tuned, and I'll have some more things to share. I thought for this week I would share a little video of the neighborhood I live in, and also I wanted to talk about our last bariatric support group meeting, and I also want to share with you a video about the workout that I do at the gym, what sort of workout I do at the gym. So first we'll talk about my bariatric support group meeting. And here's a picture of my close friends in the support group that we meet every other week at Toronto Western Hospital, and it has been a phenomenal journey, and sharing my journey with my friends that have also had the surgery. And last week we were split up into two groups, so there were about 25 people per group. And we had to talk about two topics, and we were sitting in a circle in a room at the hospital with the bariatric psychiatrist and another social worker who was in the part of the bariatric program at Toronto General. And we had two topics. We were talking about what you do at social events and getting back on track. So quite a few good pointers that I wrote down on my little piece of paper here about these two topics. So first of all, getting back on track. So things that I've talked constantly about in my videos is using apps. And as you all know, I use an app that's called My Net Diary, and I track all of my food with that app. I also started using the Carrot app, which is an app that tracks your steps. I discovered a new app from a friend who was there at the support group meeting, and I'll post a link to that. It's an app where you take the picture of the food, and it actually can calculate the calories of the food in the picture, which I think is amazing. I haven't tried it yet, but I'll post the link. So some other getting back on track as far as getting over your, getting back or getting over your bad habits. So pre-pack your lunch. So for example, last week I had a rehearsal with the Mississauga Symphony Orchestra, and I had to leave quite early, so I knew that I would be on the road around dinner time. And so I pre-made my salad. I made a beautiful salad with strawberries and blue cheese and chicken. It was delicious. And I packed that in a lunch container, and I took it with me, and I ate it there when I got to the hall. So yeah, preparing for meals, because you're not going to be able to get anything, but if you don't, then you have the tendency to go to the quick option of going to a fast food restaurant or a coffee shop like here in Toronto, Tim Hortons or something like that, and pick up something that has way too many calories and way too fatty and processed, and you know what I mean. So always be prepared wherever you go to bring your own food, or just don't eat. That's basically what it does. Interesting point. What I didn't know is that your cortisone levels go up at night, which is why it triggers carb cravings. So don't eat the carbs. Don't, like what I do, I go to the gym at night so that I'm not getting triggered by eating carbs in front of the TV. Because that old habit certainly does creep back for sure. The old habit of sitting on the couch at 8 o'clock and watching your shows and eating things that you shouldn't eat. Body image, we talked about body image and, new habits, like, buying new clothes or trying to look good. Like I went down to the Eaton Center today and I thought, you know what, I should dress up. But you never know who you meet on the street. And indeed, I met up with a friend, a Dutch friend in the Eaton Center. And I'm glad I dressed up because I felt great. And it was really nice to meet her. We also talked about society has trained to think about weight loss. So what the psychiatrist was talking about was that society, marketing, it's all about weight loss, and it's not about your self-confidence and body image. So everything is geared towards losing weight, counting your calories, trying to fit in size 10 jeans or whatever. To which, by the way, I bought a new pair of jeans this week because all my jeans are too big now, and I'm now a size 24 down below. I'm a size 1X above, but I'm a 2X below because of my hips and my panty skin that's hanging. But that was exciting. So, yeah. So thinking about, not so much about the weight loss, but more about how far you've come and what goals you've achieved. And, the NSVs, non-scale victories that you've achieved as well. And that you just feel great about life. And not so focused on, I can't eat that because I have to lose a pound this week. And then the last thing regarding that particular topic, we were talking about setting goals, NSVs. So for sure, constantly setting goals. Like I set a goal a long time ago to be able to fly to Amsterdam. Which, as you all know from my last video, that I booked a flight to Amsterdam for July. So I'm looking forward to that. So setting goals for yourself, because there were a few women there at the support group meeting that had the surgery 4 or 5 years ago, and they are stuck. And so the thing that they were talking about is that this whole journey has these different plateaus. Like your first year after your surgery, they call it the bariatric honeymoon. So you're constantly on the scale, constantly looking at great weight loss results every week. But then it slows down. And then 4 or 5 years out, you're at your goal weight, so to speak. And now what? What do you do? So setting goals, like today was the Toronto Marathon. My goal one day is to walk the half marathon, the Toronto Marathon. I want one of those medals that you get when you go into a marathon. And this woman that I met at the Eaton Center, Henrietta, she's Dutch, she went to New York and ran the New York half marathon. And that's a fantastic goal. So setting goals for yourself, I think, is really important. And I know a lot of you out there do run marathons now, or do amazing sporty things, and so that's great. So that will help you. Like I'm a 60-year-old woman, almost 60. I turned 60 in July, but athletics, being athletic, being more mobile and doing more stuff doesn't scare me because of my age. Like I'm just fighting it. I just fight it, and I have to do it. I have to go to the gym, and you'll see what I'm going to be doing at the gym after this. And so then the first part of the meeting was about social events, what you do at social events and how you act at them. And one of the women is going on a cruise. And she's 5 years out, and this is the first time she's been on a cruise. So the cruise, as you know, is a food fest. As everybody knows, when you go on a cruise, you're going to be confronted with this enormous buffets that they have 4 times a day. So she was given some tips, like make sure you cruise the whole table and choose what you want. Choose the smallest plate you can find. First, load up your proteins. Always load up your proteins. Go back to your table, eat the proteins. If you still have a little bit of room left after having that protein, Then you go back and get some vegetables and some fruit, you know. And if you still after that have a little bit of room, then as a treat, you have a little bit of carbs. So, and then, you know, keep yourself busy with all of the different activities that you find on these cruises, like, you know, the swimming, the exercise room, go to the shows. If you're stopping at different ports of call, that you get off the ship and go and do the tours. And so that was an interesting view on, you know, how to go on a cruise. You know, I shared my experiences with Easter, like it was a social event with my family, and how to control your portions. And I must admit that my mindfulness-based eating program that I took really still helps me in those social events, especially in those social events, that I take my time, put very small portions on my plate, have one Easter egg, and really enjoy and suck on the chocolate a long time. And again, you know, a year from now, it might be a different story, but I'm hoping, the whole point of this whole discussion at this support group meeting was that I'm hoping that the habits that I'm forming this year, I am going to continue for the rest of my life. So the important message is, after you've had the surgery, start creating a new habit and stick to those habits even after year 1, year 2, year 3, or year 4, that you stay and stick to those habits. And my habits are using my app to track my food, using an app to track my my steps, using an app and the Apple Watch to track what I'm doing at the gym, and to go out and do more things, be more outgoing, go out with friends, go to a movie, just get out on the street, just get out of the house and do more stuff. So that was the support thing I wanted to show and share with you, was what I do at the gym. So I go to the gym 2-3 times a week. And in the summer months, I do more aquafit in the pool, but I don't like going into the pool in the winter because it's just too cold. So I'm just going to go through the different exercises, and hopefully you'll see what I do. So I start with cardio and stretching exercises with elliptical balls, and then, I do strength training first. Strength training first with elliptical balls, and do a lot of work on my back and my abs. I can't do too much on my legs. And then I end it with cardio. So stay tuned, and you can see all these exercises that I do in a video right now. Okay, so then I was going to end with taking a little tour through Toronto. So end this with that so you can take a look. So just, I think that's about it for this week. So thanks again for watching Finding Wendy, and I hope to see you again next week. And oh, I forgot to mention, I wanted to thank Little Kansas Kitty for her wonderful prize. If you don't follow her, she's a great woman to follow as well. She's one of these runners that I was talking about. And I won a prize of all sorts of gifts and gift cards and things like that. And I think it's so nice of her to do something like that. I don't have that kind of money or support to offer any kind of prizes. Maybe one day I can. But thanks again to Little Kansas Kitty for your wonderful gift. It was a great surprise to learn that I had won the major draw that you were doing on your weekly video. So if you don't follow her, I highly recommend you follow her, Little Kansas Kitty. So that's it for this week. Thanks again for following Finding Wendy, and we will see you again next week. Bye-bye for now. Okay, well, I thought it would be fun to do a little video about my area that I live in. I live in Church Wellesley Village. It's the village, the gay village of Toronto. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day, as you can see. Lots of blue sky, and a lot of people are out. There's our rainbow flag on the street, and of course the local cafes and restaurants. Everybody's out on having a coffee and enjoying the sunny weather. We all feel like we've been released from the winter. It's the first nice day in a long time. That's my building. That's where I live. So, yeah. So, hope you enjoyed this little tour of the village here in Toronto on this beautiful sunny day. I'm on my scooter, and there's my dog Lucy right between my legs here. All right, I thought I'd record the center of the city. I'm here at Yonge Dundas Square. It's kind of like the New York Times of Toronto. And over there is the big square. And I'll just cross the street here. Give you a view of Yonge Dundas Square. Over here we have the Toronto Eaton Centre, and we also have one of those crosswalks like you have in Japan, where you can actually cross in any direction. You can cross vertical or any direction you like to go. So I'm going to turn right in the middle of the street, go back towards Dundas Square. This is actually where I am the producer of the Canada Day celebrations on July 1st here at Dundas Square. And there's your typical tourist double-decker bus. Yeah, it's a really nice square. So the square, it's got lots of festivals in the summer. Lots of advertising, the same as in Times Square. So, yeah. Anyway, it's a beautiful day, and I'm really happy to be outside without a coat and enjoying the weather.